and welcome back to MedTech World. It is a true pleasure and opportunity to be speaking with Ms. Tanya Talreja. She's the founder and president of GSD Corporation. They are an international multi-award winning spa, salon, and gym developer, setting up some of the most luxurious facilities around the world with a focus on Southeast Asian regions and the United States. And we're here to talk about the outlook of the global hospitality sector for 2021, as well as determine the latest inventions found between wellness and technology, and of course, the latest trends that are transforming the industry. But before we get into that, once again, Tanya, thank you so much for joining me today. You look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a true pleasure, really.
You're very welcome. And thank you for taking the time to come and visit our studio and have a little chat with me.
Absolutely.
And to start off, tell us something about yourself. What's your area of expertise that made you confident to start this incredibly successful company of yours? And maybe give us a little brief history of GSD Corporation.
Sure. So in terms of expertise, I started out as a skin specialist and I worked my way through the spa industry. I started in the spa industry right when there was just a spa or a salon or a gym in a hotel or a resort, but it wasn't a part of the soul of the property. It was somewhat of an independent, separate entity. It wasn't really combined with all the other aspects and all the other departments that it is now. And as for GSD, it was born as Global Spa Development back in 2009. Now, 13 years later, it's really known throughout the world as GSD Corporation. And some of the services that we do is basically we source out the clients, we create the contracts, we figure out the feasibility first and foremost. How is this project of the facility, a spa, salon, or gym going to be successful? Yeah. And what are the key indicators that will make it successful? How do we know the pricing range, the market trends, the demographics, and all this type of information that you need to know before you actually even come up with the idea, you know? So from there, you go into conceptualization, dreaming up, what is this new idea that I'm going to come up with, and how are we going to be competitive, interesting, and stand out, and of course, be successful for a long time to come. Then moving forward into business development, and then into financial feasibility, as well as the design, then schematic design, then pre-opening, and then the operations and the day-to-day aspect of the clients coming in.
That is amazing. And your company is focused on Southeast Asian regions and the United States. Now, why focus on those regions?
Well, first and foremost, I am in the Philippines, and it comes down to proximity. Southeast Asia is made up with maybe 19 or so countries, a number of countries here. So it has to be a matter of a few hours flights. So I can be able to travel to all these different countries and different places and have these meetings. But of course, since the pandemic, the world changed, and it's about Zoom meetings and team meetings and all of these abilities to be able to converse, over online. But when it comes to the United States, actually one of the things we're doing is trying to expand over there. So one of our new offices is going to be in the United States. So We're actually trying to expand globally, which we already are, but because of my location and the United States, that is the next phase of our plan.
Amazing. Yes. And moving forward, what are your plans then in the United States with your expansion?
Well, of course, I want to continue the same services that I mentioned before, but also with a sort of speciality in terms of more into the operational side, management operating, and helping different spas that don't necessarily know what they're doing. That goes for gyms as well, that they just need a little bit more of a fine-tuning, I guess you could say. They need more of a auditing, a Forbes-style way of moving forward, because some places have a great space, but if you don't have the technology and and understanding behind the scenes, that magic, that machine will not be working, and you're not going to be attaining your goals as you need to with the KPIs and everything.
That was well articulated. Well, it goes without saying that the coronavirus outbreak have had a significant impact on the hospitality sector for 2020 and will no doubt spill over into 2021 and beyond. Now, can you give us an outlook of the global hospitality sector for 2021?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for that insightful question. Two of the main things that we need to look at is when would the post-pandemic era even happen? And secondly, what would that look like? Obviously, we are now 1 year later in the Philippines where the pandemic hit. Personally, I thought it would be 1 month. I had no idea that we'd be sitting here 1 year later, and that we would still be having our mask, our shields, and so forth. So when it comes down to the wellness hospitality industry, you know, a lot of these places have not survived. A lot of these spas, salons, and gyms, a lot of them had to shut down or be put on pause for a very long time. I would say only a good amount of 30% to 40% have actually survived and still struggling. So it's been a little bit tricky for a lot of people, and especially in the Philippines where we are right now. Luckily, we still have some spas and some salons and gyms that are luckily open. Yes, there are some rules, and that makes us safer, so I do understand that. When it comes down to it, not a lot of these places have been able to keep themselves open. So it comes down to seeing the future and the business aspect of it, and how will we move forward in terms of business, the government rulings, and, you know, coming down to the projects. If people want to believe that we're able to move forward in the climate, how would we do that? Mm-hmm.
And what are some of the latest inventions between wellness and technology that are transforming the customer experience, and or the latest technologies that we are seeing that lead significant improvements and savings in the hospitality market?
Well, I think two of the most exciting technologies that we have right now, and I actually want both of them, just saying, it's really, really exciting. So one of them would be a fitness tracker for your feet. So it's actually
for your feet,
it's
not for your
not
wrist.
for your wrist. It's not like an Apple Watch. It's not like something to wear on your wrist. It's on your waist. It's so you put it into your insole. So it's somewhat like a pedometer. So it tracks your every step, your every movement, the velocity, the power of it, the strength of it, your height, your weight, your goals, your activities. So if you're doing treadmill, or you're doing bike, or you're doing HIIT, or doing some sort of exciting activity, it will be able to really track what you're doing and go connected to your own smartphone and tell you what is your progress or how much more you need to move each day to track your goals. And the other one, which is quite useful, I think the whole world will be quite interested in this, is it's a smart bottle. So you have your regular bottle of water, and then it actually tells you, okay, beep, beep, you need to drink more water, because not many people are actually drinking their 8 glasses of water a day.
Definitely.
Let's, you know, to be honest, a lot of us forget sometimes. So it has like different color sensors, and it also connects to your fitness app. So it's sort of interchangeable, a fitness, wellness, and medically sound device that's going to be coming out. It's quite exciting.
That is very exciting. Do you possess the wrist
I don't possess
watch?
it. This is something that's just coming up, but the minute it hits the market, I will be buying it.
Oh my God, tell me about it. Remind me when this
I
product
don't
comes
have
out.
the information because it's not from us. I'm just letting you know in terms of what's going to be coming out that's new and exciting. That definitely, let's put us both on the wait list for that.
Definitely. How about for your, like the spas? Like, what are the latest inventions that can be found that you're supplying to?
So it really comes down to what kind of spa, because not only are there destination spas, there's regular spas, there's, you know, more barbershop kind of spas for men, and it comes down to what are the exact treatments, because you need to diversify and have your classic standard treatments, you know, your Swedish massage, your, you know, Thai massage, but then some places want to have something a little bit more unique where they have a standpoint, whether it's TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, or Ayurvedic, or something that's more like classic, but they want the machine. So they want to have a little bit of more medical treatments. Like you notice they have the injections now that are like the anti-drowsiness or something that gives you more energy. There's some that are the LED mask that you put on your face, and some of these more technologically interesting machines that are coming out. But again, it depends on the type of business that you're actually looking to open for people. Because some people want something really advanced. For the most part, people are still a little bit more reserved, and they want what they know feels good and what works for them in terms of relaxation, for treatments as well. Yeah, so the typical microdermabrasion, typical, you know, facials that work that way. So yes.
Excellent. Well, moving on to a personal question.
Okay.
What got you into the industry? What made you hooked into the wellness industry? Is there like a spa treatment that you availed one day and then
Yes.
then you realized, oh God, I belong to this industry?
Yes, it's quite interesting. It was a long time ago. I would say good 13 or 15 years ago, I tried 𝐂𝐤𝐴 facial. So basically it has the polar, like positive and negative energies that you put onto your face with somewhat like an aloe vera. So it really smooths your skin, it hydrates your skin, and the way the fingers and the way that the therapist, the beautician was able to touch my face and make the treatments it was just so incredible that I was like, okay, now this is something really interesting. How do I turn this into a business? That's
amazing.
Just how I think. So,
it's like a little light bulb.
Yeah, a little light bulb came up, and I said, okay, now this is something I should have tried when I was much younger, but even still, I started very young. So it was quite exciting to just kind of learn the ropes, and I thought it was very important, and I still do, to start from the beginning. Start in every possible department to really grow, so one day you'll be able to direct, and then of course design and create, and be in a leadership position.
Well, your journey is really inspiring. I am
Thank you.
incredibly moved right now. And your products are more focused on international markets. Now, what kind of challenges are you seeing for this, especially amid COVID?
Yes, it's been challenging, that's for sure. If anyone else says differently in this industry, it's not necessarily what's the case, because every industry in this world has been suffering, because when it comes down to it, we work with the hotel owners who work with the hotel developers, we work with the architects and the contractors and suppliers like us who create all of the, from the A to Z for the spa, salons, and gyms. And one of the main issues is they have put aside X amount of money to create the spaces. But then, are we going to actually set something up during this pandemic? But they have their, reservations. They don't know, should we actually move forward? So what I would like to refresh them and to remind them is, even if we're going to be putting in the feasibility first, that's what's going to really make you see, here are the numbers, here's the 5-year plan, year over year. This is how you can see this is where the money's going to come, given the current climate and given what's going to be happening from our assumption for 3 years, 5 years, and that helps them really find a sense of relaxation, because that will really, we mean what we say when we give these numbers. We're not trying to fib anyone, because we want the facility to be successful. We would never suggest to even put one up if it's not going to actually thrive. So getting consultants like myself involved very early is important. So you can work together with the hotel developers and really, plan out, okay, can we actually afford this? Can you afford this? Will this be on budget? And how are we going to get you to that successful point?
And you yourself direct spas and gyms.
Yes, before I was a consultant, I used to be directing on massive luxury spas. Some of the most biggest spas around the world, about 7,500 square meters, was just one building for one spa.
Wow.
Places like Westin, Sheraton, Kempinski, Robinson, Breakers. I also worked with Carlton. There's been a number of different properties that are very much in the luxury sector. So.
And how does GSD Corporation enable companies looking to expand into other international markets?
Well, one of the main things is that we have one of the largest databases to date. So everyone from hotel owners and developers that we work with, architects, interior designers, and people who are really just standalone properties that want to develop spas. So we not only work for getting clients and also vice versa, we also connect people. So it's a lot of B2B. So if we have consultancies in the US who want to actually connect with hotel groups in Southeast Asia, and they need to have that in between, that's something that we do. So we partner up with different people. So it's really about not just Southeast Asia or the US, but different parts of the world that contact us and that we reach out to. So we're able to create not GSD spas, but white label different companies for these hotels around the world.
All right. What's next for GSD Corporation moving forward in the year ahead?
The next year ahead, I would like to say the United States is one of our main focuses, to really get our office up and running there and see how much work that we can really put forward with all of our experience over these years and put it forward in the United States.
Well, fantastic. Tanya, this was short but sweet, so thank you so much for your insights. It's always great to have a woman of impact on the show, such as yourself. So thank you. I'll be happy to do this again with you in the future.
No, absolutely. Thank you so much for your time and your insightful questions. It was a lot of fun.
It was
short
fun.
and sweet, and really I had a great time being here. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much too. And that's it for myself and Tanya. Let us know how you found this segment. Drop us a comment on the comment box below, and we'll see you on the next video.